on with that? Because you all do that. How could you make so many shows already with Beyond Belief?
You know, we do 4 a month, and it piles up and it adds up. But it's just kind of like Coast on TV. It's pretty cool. So if people head to beyondbelief.com, what they can do is we have not 1 but 3 free episodes that they can check out to see if they like it. And there's a 7-day free trial. If they sign up for that trial, that's going to let them see, check this out, we've done over 400 episodes of Beyond Belief through the years. And I know, 4 a month, right? You can do the math.
They get so cool.
Yeah, but there are a lot of good things going on. So if you have a chance, beyondbelief.com.
Hey, one quick question for you.
Yes?
I want a behind the scenes. I want a little something behind the scenes. Tell me a little something behind the scenes of Beyond Belief.tv there.com. Come on. You know, it's the show.
Yeah.
But you got a camera on.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
What are you looking for? You got to give me a little more than that.
I don't know. Something cool. Something that we don't know that would be behind the scenes that, you know, I don't know. Like,
okay,
you know,
what you don't know is we get frustrated when guests aren't doing their potential, so we'll make little comments, but they're comments to ourselves to help improve the show. So in other words, we'll be sitting there and we'll go, well, come on, tell us more about it, guy, come on, and they can't hear us, but it's like we're trying to project that to them, so they'll do that on the camera. Do you get it?
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
But most of the shows turn out great.
Yeah, but you know what? You do have to put, you know, you can't wear the old shorts and the old jammies or anything like that. Like you know, maybe you could.
Well, wait, let's clarify. I can. George can't.
I know he's got.
Believe
there
me,
you go.
we have to fly to Colorado every month. I like to fly in comfort, so you know.
Oh, I want to hear more about that off the show here. All right,
See you later.
Tommy Danheiser, and more open lines coming up here on Coast to Coast AM.
You're smart to worry about age-related mental decline. I do, which is why I take Matter by Elysium Health. Matter is science, not some passing fad. It was developed in partnership with the University of Oxford to slow the brain loss that occurs as we age. Matter contains a patented formula that is clinically proven to slow age-related loss in the brain's memory centers by an average of 86%. To me, it's a miracle of modern science. Is brain health important to you? Here are questions to see if you need Matter. 1. Have you noticed changes, even mild changes in your memory? 2. Does any sort of memory decline run in your family? If you said yes, then take Matter by Elysium to help support your brain health today, tomorrow, and later in life. Go to trymatter.com/George and use promo code George at checkout to save $45. That's promo code George at trymatter.com/George. trymatter.com/George for $45 off.
Look, you might have dreamed of discovering lost treasure when you were a child, but I bet you never thought you could actually have some. Incredible, I know, but now you can. There's a hoard that sank aboard the SS Central America in a hurricane back in the 1800s. There were about 10 tons of gold coins, bars, and nuggets in the hold, and it all stayed on the seabed until a dive boat found the ship of gold in 1988. Since then, some of the scarce and valuable coins have been recovered from the shipwreck. These coins don't just come up on the market, so when they do, you've got to stamp them up quick. The $20 gold Liberty coins are incredible. Imagine a fantastic piece of history sitting in your hand, and such a valuable heirloom to pass down to the next generations. Go to noblegoldinvestments.com. That's noblegoldinvestments.com.
It is Coast to Coast AM that you are listening to. Connie Willis with you. Join me on my show at conniewillis.com. Coast listeners, you guys, you get a really nice discount. You'll see that on the front page. I post that every now and then. It's up there for you now. And if you're a veteran, absolutely, you've taken care of us. I got to take care of you best I can. 50% off with my Blue Rock Talk TV show. And it's all good. It's all far out. It's all Bigfoot. It's all aliens. It's all creepy hotspots. And it's live investigating. It is a community. And I hope that you'll join the membership. It's exclusive and it's a lot of fun. But just go to ConnieWillis.com. You'll see that. And you'll also see where I have my virtual bar and you can have a drink with me too. That's a whole nother thing. You become Connie's cadets. See Connie After Dark. And then you add ETs. So it's cadets. It's fun. It's fun. I think you'll like it. We all have a good time. Once you come, you pretty much stay. ConnieWillis.com. So open lines here happening on Coast to Coast. By the way, I want to mention that it's always fun to work with Tommy on air. It's it's always smooth going when we play back and forth. And, it's always just a surprise. So that's always a good time. I enjoy doing things like that. So open lines happening. We, our last segment. I can't believe it's at the end here. My little doggy is like, Mama, what are we doing awake still? What's going on? I don't understand. But then she's all cool because she's a Coast Insider. She's cool. She's cool. So let's go. Let's see. What do we got left here? We got a lot of people on the line. Oh my gosh. It's always this choice of where do I go? Where do I go? How about let's talk to Brian, west of the Rockies, out of Washington State. Hey there, Brian. How are you? Welcome to Coast. Hi.
Hi, Connie. Thanks for taking my call. This is
Absolutely.
Awesome. And also, I cannot wait to see you guys at the Everett Historical Theater. I already got my tickets. It's right down the road from where I live and where I work.
All right. Excellent. It's a beautiful place. I've been up there before. It's a great area. And you're definitely going to have fun. There's no question about that.
Yeah,
Make
right
sure
now, good thing you guys are not going to be there till September, I believe. But you're the crew, the Coast to Coast crew. But right now we're having Washington State temperature records. I believe on Monday it's supposed to be like 108, and the record's like 103. I don't know how many years ago.
Yeah, I heard that. What's going on with that?
Just got to drink a lot of water.
And is it a dry heat where you are or not?
No, this is on the west side. The eastern side of the Cascade Mountain Range is the drier heat, and the west side, by the Puget Sound, and that's it's an unbelievable temperature for this side of the mountains, the Seattle side of the mountains.
So what do you do up there? What's your question? Did you have a question?
I work at the biggest building in the world to build some airplanes. And that's where I'm at. And I'm probably still really fortunate to be able to get on this show and give my little input. Yeah.
And so, you got some input? You got something going on?
I do.
Air Force
I was
One?
really curious of what Dan was talking about and how he was saying the DNA frequency, and it just kind of blew my mind because it's a long story. I had something happen to me like 30 years ago. With the experience, and it's a whole different, don't have enough time to talk about that, but the whole course of my life, and you can tell when people are honest or not of things that happened or not.
Yes.
Without a doubt, it changed the whole course of my life of something.
Was yours alien or Bigfoot? Or
mine was, I was coming back from the other side of the mountains. I can't wait to maybe do my story one time somehow.
Okay.
It was the brightest light, and I hear that this was around the Hanford plant of Eastern Washington by the Tri-Cities, and I didn't see like a spaceship, so to say, but if you ever want to talk about things moving fast and something coming right in your way of the brightest light ever, where you can see the future and just totally change the whole course of your life within, whatever the time may be.
All right. At one point, you're going to get on here and tell us. You're going to tell us at one point. I've
been fortunate enough to be on this great show a few different times to where, it takes a while to explain that. But,
okay. Set it up with Tommy. We'll put you on. We'll have to talk to you about it. But I want to say this. You're right. Especially when you've experienced it yourself, you know when someone's telling the truth or not, because you know, that's what I get upset. My background is television as well as radio, and I don't like when these shows are like, if I pitch a show and the network wants to do something where they kind of take the stories and they take it to the left or to the right, when that's not the way the story goes. It's crazy enough as it is. You don't need to make it crazier, right? And when you tell the truth of how crazy it is and take it in the right direction, we can learn from it, right? Instead of taking it out of bounds and everybody stays confused.
And you know what I think would be a great show, if I ever could, you know, maybe I'll be able to talk to George when he's up here in Everett, but to have a show to where people can, okay, so you had this experience, but what happened after the fact? How did, so like me, I'm 55 now, and this happened when I was around 22. And it just, how did it change your life? What changed it? I think that would be a good narrative.
I think you're right. This is my quick thing that Dan mentioned. If the DNA is putting out frequency, and say whoever came to visit me 30 years ago, so if my DNA hasn't changed, that maybe that's how they could find me. So that was just basically what I was going to lay out today. So DNA, so you've been talking about the DNA.
Well, Dan mentioned it.
Right, having frequency.
How they could, your DNA puts out a frequency like no different of like how I can find you guys if I'm out and about on my little UV-5R two-way radio. If I'm not, I can always find you guys, and it's just a frequency. But I just never really thought of like your DNA putting out a frequency.
Yeah, I like that.
Whoever could come find you. Right. Like maybe like a GPS. We know where you're at.
Yeah. Interesting. I like it. I'm going to think upon that one. Excellent. Thank you so much for your call. You know, it's interesting because I've heard before about if you find an implant in your body and it's metal, then that's human. And if you find one that's organic, where they've actually taken maybe some part of your body and twisted it and turned it in a way, almost like scar tissue, and that's how they would, that would be the implant from the alien. So I've heard that before, but that is even more interesting, the DNA with the frequency. Man, that's really cool and sounds pretty legit, especially all the things that we've learned with DNA. That I got to write that down to where it's like, okay, look for DNA experts and talk to them. Speaking of, tomorrow night we've got Jack Sarfati that's going to be joining us. I'll be back on tomorrow night, and also Bob Ruff. Jack's going to be talking about the UFO stuff, and he's got some problems that we have solved. So he's extremely enthusiastic and very fun to listen to, and brilliant. So I think you're going to enjoy that. And then Bob Ruff is a guy that talks about what he does is people that have been said to be guilty of crimes that are innocent. He works on getting them free, and he involves everybody in. He's got a podcast, and he involves everybody in it, and you are part of one of the detectives, similar to what I do with investigators on my show. He does the same thing with you investigate with him with true crime. So very interesting. That's going to be happening tomorrow night here on Coast to Coast. I think you're going to like that. I think you're going to enjoy that big time. All right, that was great. DNA. Oh, I'm going to think about that with the frequencies. I remember somebody telling me too that sound notes. If I remember, it was notes. They were going to be putting a patent. This was back in the early 90s. They were going to put patents on notes. I'm talking notes like musical notes, and the patents were going to be able to set a mood and also heal you. Like, let's say, and I didn't know how it worked, but I remember having all the paperwork. I wonder if I can find that again. I remember somebody giving me some of it. It was before they were working on getting the patent. They would make a note, like a C sharp or something, and that particular note, whatever they did with it, and whatever it was that made the note, was going to be able to, when it was played, it would set a mood, but it would also heal like your heart or your kidney or certain parts of your body. So if anybody's ever heard of that, let me know. That's what it reminds me of with the DNA frequency, because that's pretty much what it would be, is a frequency. Let's see if we can grab one more quick call, one more really, really quick call. Monterey, California, wildcard line number 1, Joe. Hey there, Joe. How are you? I hope you got something quick for us.
Okay. I think you asked the question, why are they here?
Yeah.
And a lot of people say, if they're dangerous, how they could just kill us off. And so, right, we've got 7.5 billion people here. They could make us kill ourselves. And I think they're doing that with transhumanism and, of course, the shot. Just think, 7 billion robots or cyborgs. So they don't have to kill us off. Now, why are they here? Well, it's a big land grab.
Chico, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay.
So you think they're bad guys, like they're all pretty negative, and if they wanted to, they could take us out like in a heartbeat.
Well, they don't have to, because we're a commodity. We're a resource. So why should they give that up when they can control us? And they already do control us through their technology. ETs control us through technology. Demons control us by being inside us.
Oh, my goodness, you're exactly...
Possession.
Yeah. Joe, love to hear it. Thanks so much for getting through. I appreciate it. Thank you guys as well for sticking around and hanging out with me tonight here on Coast to Coast AM. Joe, that's some deep stuff, and I'm with him. I'm with him on that. Thank you so much for being here tonight, and I want to thank as well Dan Willis for being with us, talking about what happened today. We got more of that that's going to be happening tomorrow, and also Bob Ruff, like I was talking about too. So I just wanted to say thank you. And if you enjoyed the show yourself, thank you for being a part of it. And write us, let us know. We always hear the bad guys. We love to hear those of you that are the good guys to say, hey, it was fun, we had a great time. And I want to thank the people that also helped me here with the show, and definitely with you guys from the foothills of the Colorado Rockies. Many thanks going out to all the people that are a part of the show. Julie Talbot and Bill May, Lisa Lyon, Shannon Scott, Dan Galani, Chris Burrows, Stephanie Smith, Tommy Danheiser, Tommy. It's always fun to work with Tommy. Lex Lonehood, Greg Bishop is with us once in a while from time to time. Sean Ledesur, Tim Banal, Gina Salvati, Donna Walker, Mike Cosio, also George Knapp and Greg Foster, Mike Wolf, Angie Sillo. We've got a whole lot of people that are a part of this show and behind the show, as well as John C. Bond, and of course, our very own George Norrie. And I would just like to thank you once again, and join me on my show, which is Blue Rock Talk TV. Go to ConnieWillis.com, and you'll find that, and you'll also find where I do Connie After Dark, as well as the creepy hotspots. Veterans, 50% off on my Blue Rock Talk, as always. I'm always going to take care of you guys. And Coast fans, the same with you. There's a great discount, ConnieWillis.com. So until we meet again, I hope that you keep watching the night skies and continue with me to seek out the strange and uncover the unknown. For Coast to Coast AM, I'm Connie Willis, and we will see you tomorrow night back here once again. Bob Ruff, Jack Sarfati. We're going to be talking about the UFOs with What Happened Today and true crime.
buying a house and want a really low interest rate? Owning has a special for home purchases, where Owning pays all your closing costs, and the rate in APR is an unheard of 1.875% for a 15-year fixed mortgage with 20% down. This is the craziest low rate for a mortgage with no closing costs that Owning has ever done. 1.875% rate in APR. Heck, we're almost paying you to live in a new house. Call 833-2-OWNING or go to owning.com to see if you qualify for this crazy low 1.875% rate. That's a fixed rate loan at 1.875% with no closing costs. Call 833-2-OWNING now because 1.875 could go away at any time.
NMLS 2611, licensed by the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. Subject to credit approval. Offer assumes the use of lender's choice escrow and title services. Call 823-858-0066 for terms and conditions.
That's 833-2-OWNING or owning.com. 833-2-OWNING or owning.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded. Good morning, my early rising friend. I'm Dean Sharp, the House Whisperer. Custom home builder, custom home designer. Hey, it's just about 6 o'clock. You know what that means. For the next 2 hours, I'm going to be here with you as a friendly voice in your morning and your personal guide to turning your ordinary house into an extraordinary home. One of the things we all wrestle with the most, color. I'm going to explain it this morning, and we're going to learn some lessons that are going to help you pick color properly for your home. And it all gets started in just a couple of minutes, so stay tuned. And welcome home. This is KFI and KOSD HD2 Los Angeles, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
KFI AM 640. KFI live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. An independent voice in a world full of retweets.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Flash Mob. I'm Andrew Caravello, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. A Gents in Suits Flash Mob event that's getting tucked in at the Huntington Beach Pier is designed to use fashion to inspire unity. Classic Gentleman CEO Willie Holmes says it's a protest, but it's not overt.
Because you're going to see different types of gents, different types of people. We didn't tell everyone in the signage, all wear black or all wear this. Or we want you to be you and come as you are. And I think that's a key difference, that we're not forcing our agenda on anybody.
Holmes says everyone is asked to wear a blazer to address narratives of black men portrayed as violent monsters or criminals in the media. Holmes says several actors, musicians, and local lawmakers will speak at the event this afternoon at the Huntington Beach Pier. Fire chiefs from the southern half of California have met to get on the same page for fire season. LA County Fire Chief Daryl Osby says conditions are already serious.
What we're seeing right now is what we would typically see around August or September. So we're expecting very large fire growth if we get started.
Osby says the state has only seen 2 years of normal rainfall in the past decade. The chiefs warned that this fire season could be the most devastating on record, and people should have plans to go if evacuations are ordered. The LA City Council has been looking for ways to shake up the agency that oversees homelessness. Councilman Mike Bonin says the LA Homeless Services Authority is a product of a dysfunctional partnership between the county and the city.
It's really important that as much as LAHSA needs to change and improve, as much as the system needs to change and improve, I think it's important that we not blame or scapegoat LAHSA and say that LAHSA itself is the problem.
The council is considering pulling out of LAHSA altogether and forming a city-focused agency. It is also considering working with the county to reform LAHSA. Ex-Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin has officially started serving a sentence of 22 and a half years for the murder of George Floyd. Chauvin didn't testify during the trial, but at the sentencing yesterday, he addressed Floyd's family for the first time in court.
I want to give my condolences to the Floyd family.
But he was careful not to say much.
At this time, due to some additional legal matters at hand, I'm not able to give a full formal statement at this time.
Chauvin and 3 other former officers are still facing federal civil rights charges in connection with Floyd's death. The Neighbor Works America nonprofit group says black home ownership is the lowest of any demographic in Southern California. Senior Vice President Michelle Hudgens says black black lag behind because they have obstacles to overcome that others don't to meet financial qualifications.
Not only is this a continuing issue, but it's an issue that we have to work collectively to make sure that everyone who needs a home, who is looking to find a safe and secure place to call home, has that opportunity.
A neighbor work survey shows 69% of whites own homes, 63% of Asians, 53% of Latinos, and 42% of blacks. And Minecraft fans can now say aloha, Honolulu.
About 50 video game players have worked to create a realistic rendering of Oahu's South Shore in the popular video game. They spent about a month creating the digitized version for the Minecraft universe and showed off their work on Thursday. They used Google Earth and online photos to render the buildings and streets around the city, including Waikiki Beach and a Hawaiian sunset. The creators say everything is to scale right down to the exact meter. Amy King, KFI News.
And we have traffic problems on the Vincent Thomas Bridge.
In San Pedro, the eastbound side of the Vincent Thomas Bridge is shut down. Currently, police activity, a possible jumper climbing the gates there. So watch out for sudden delays as you come through the area. In Fillmore, on the westbound side of the 210 freeway, Roxford to the 5 at Caltrans work all weekend long. All lanes closed until Monday morning around 5 o'clock. Use Foothill Boulevard instead. Santa Monica, westbound side of the 10 shut down as well. 4th Street to the McClure Tunnel until around 7 o'clock this morning. And the eastbound side of the 10 heading into West Covina from Fuente Avenue to Azusa. Carpool and 3 left lanes shut down till around 8 o'clock. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robert DeBucky.
More warm weather is right around the corner. Next.
You've been lied to. Lied to by corrupt Washington politicians and the Wall Street propaganda machine. Hi, I'm Inc. magazine best-selling author Brett Kitchen, and I want to give you a free copy of my brand new book, Wealth Beyond Wall Street, because we all know another market crash could be right around the corner. After losing 35% in my IRA in the crash years ago, I said enough, and since then I discovered a way to grow money potentially double digits, reduce taxes dramatically, and also have my money protected when the next stock market crash hits. When the next market crash hits, you lose nothing. Call Wealth Beyond Wall Street now to get your free copy and talk with a specialist to discover this little-known strategy to get potential double-digit growth during good years and never lose when the next stock market crash hits, all while building a tax-advantaged retirement. Call 800-908-1616 to discover this asset that people like Walt Disney and J.C. Penney use to grow wealthy. Plus, get one of just 97 free books left. We even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. Call 800-908-1616. That's 800-908-1616, 1-800-908-1616.
Southland weather from KFI. Today, after the fog burn-off, it'll be partly cloudy. Highs from the upper 60s to mid-70s at the beaches to the lower to mid-80s. Metro LAOC, mid-80s to low 90s for the valleys, and mid-90s to low 100s for parts of the Inland Empire. Tonight, partly cloudy in the evening, then areas of low clouds and fog. Lows in the lower to mid-60s for Metro LAOC, upper 60s for the valleys and Inland Empire tonight. Currently, it's Sherman Oaks at 62 degrees, Diamond Bar 62, Wanna Park 63, and Irvine 63. We lead local, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Andrew Caravella. AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Good Saturday morning to you, my friend. Was that too cheery for 6 o'clock? Maybe. Maybe a little bit. That's all right. I'll calm my voice down a little bit, and you can go back to have a sip of your coffee with me. Please, let's enjoy it together. Here we go. Yeah, that feels right. Okay. I'm Dean Sharp, the House Whisperer, custom home builder, custom home designer, here for you like I am live always from 6 to 8 every Saturday morning, 9 to 11 on Sundays, to be an advocate for you as you wrestle with construction issues in your home, to be a design mentor because design matters most when it comes to transforming your home, and
to just be your friend, a friendly voice to take you through the noble work of turning your ordinary house into an extraordinary home. The team is here. We're ready to go. Sam is on the board doing what he do. Misty is standing by on the phone. All right, Sam, give yourself some applause, why don't you? Oh, my God. All right, calm down. Tina, my best bud in all the world, is sleepily sitting across the table from me. She's working. She's recovering. She's getting there. It was a busy week. I'll tell you about that in a second. And Andrew Caravella is at the news desk.
Sure am.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. You have coffee. I, guilty pleasure, have a 5-hour energy shot.
Oh, there you go. Well, it's kind of probably achieving the same goal.
I agree.
Except mine is warm and comforting. And I'm not just talking about Tina. I'm talking about the coffee. All right. Anyway, why don't we get to it? Today, this morning, I thought we would return to a conversation we've had a couple of times before. But it's one of these things, probably once a year I should do this. I don't do it once a year. It's been less frequent than that. But it's the whole issue of wrestling with color. I think that of all the things that a homeowner has to deal with in regards to design, I don't know of anything that's more baffling for most homeowners than the whole issue of color. Now, some of you haven't wrestled with it because your color choices have been very simple. I would like that to be white, please. Although there are multiple shades of white, it's not that easy to go totally wrong with white. But if we're moving on into other areas of color, that's when we get into the thick of it. So, how do we start this? It's all around us at all times, yet it remains one of the least understood and the single most difficult design challenge for a lot of people. I like telling this story. I've told it before, and I'll probably tell it 100 times more. I've stood in your shoes. All you wanted to do was freshen up the living room. So you innocently hopped into a car, headed down to the paint store. Next thing you know, you're standing, paralyzed, in front of a 20-foot-long wall of color samples. Behind you is the kid who pushes the buttons to mix your paint. Last week, she was working at Forever 21, and although she knows how to operate the paint machine, she has received exactly 0 hours of color theory training and therefore is of no real help to you. And you're completely overwhelmed. Even if you have a decorator who suggested a triad of colors for you, how do you know that they're right? Is there a way to check? You're beginning to feel a little nauseous now. You're seriously tempted to bolt out of there, but you press on. You grab a few samples of an off-white and a blue ash color, which seems kind of sort of good, you guess. And then you head home, only to discover that when you walk them into the room itself, yeah, they don't look so good. How many times have so many of us relived that same experience? Human beings can discern over 10 million colors and just about 3 million distinct hues between those colors. Nevertheless, that ability doesn't mean that we understand color or how to pick the right color. That requires some basic information, and that is where I am taking you today. I am hoping that by the time we are done with our fine program, we will have learned 6 or 7 key lessons in the process of selecting color. No, I'm not going to tell you what color to pick for your house. There are too many options, there's too many of you, and it would just be wrong. But what we are going to learn from a very practical perspective is what the hell color is anyway, and why it behaves so strangely when we are trying to put it into our home. By the time we are done, you will understand these things, and you yourself will walk with your head high up to the next color chip display and know what you're doing. Wouldn't that be nice? All right, it's going to happen. I am so glad you joined me this morning. We've got so much more to come. You're listening to Home with Dean Sharp, the House Whisperer. Andrew Caravella has the news.
A man has been taken into custody after jumping out of an airplane that had been taxiing at Los Angeles International Airport. An LA-based artist has been commissioned to paint a 30-foot mural on a transit-oriented affordable housing development in East LA, and a dragon man skull may be proof of a new human species. We'll look at the 210 next.
Ready to build your new dream kitchen. All right, that is awesome. What is your first move going to be? I'll tell you what it should be. It should be a totally free in-showroom consult with one of my friends at the kitchen store. That means you get two things. You get the creativity, the wisdom of an expert kitchen designer, and you get that while you're being flooded with inspiration in the kitchen store's 7,000 square foot cabinet design showroom. They're right off the 405 in Culver City, and this is so true. For more than 50 years, the kitchen store is the place for kitchen cabinets in all of Southern California. State-of-the-art computer design, 12-month same as cash financing, pricing that beats the big box home centers. So start your new kitchen right. Set up your free consultation today by dialing 310-KITCHEN. That's 310-KITCHEN. And check out the kitchen store on the web at 310kitchen.com.
From the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, we make it easy. We're checking a closure on the 210.
Fillmore on the westbound side of the 210 between Rockford and the 5. Caltrans has all lanes shut down all weekend long till around 5 o'clock Monday morning. Use Foothill Boulevard instead. All lanes are also closed in Santa Monica, westbound side of the 10, 4th Street to the McClure Tunnel. That's supposed to be until around 7 o'clock this morning. The eastbound side of the 10 heading through West Covina between Puente Avenue and Azusa Avenue. Carpool and 3 left lanes taken away till around 8 o'clock as well. And Montebello on the 60 eastbound Garfield to Rosemead Boulevard, 3 left lanes shut down till around 8 a.m. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robert Dubucky.
This report is sponsored by 1-800-THE-LAW-2. Drive safely and keep your eyes on the road. But unfortunately, accidents happen, so you need to be prepared. If you are injured, get the power of experienced attorneys today. Call 1-800-THE-LAW-2. That's 1-800-843-5292.
When it comes to your identity and keeping it safe, the folks at LifeLock want to make sure that your information stays secure. So let's say during the pandemic, or even now, you're working overtime. You're saving your money. You're paying off your debt. And now some identity thief wants to steal your information. This is why LifeLock by Norton helps monitor your information and alerts you to potential identity threats. And if you do become a victim, a dedicated U.S.-based specialist will be there to help fix it. Now, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor every transaction, every business. But when identity thieves try to take what's yours, you don't have to take it lying down because there's LifeLock. Save up to 25% off your first year. Call 800-LifeLock or go to LifeLock.com, promo code HANDLE. That's LifeLock.com, promo code HANDLE, or call 800-LifeLock, promo code HANDLE. Once again, that's promo code HANDLE for 25% off at LifeLock.com.